Welcome to Knowledge Anywhere. We appreciate your time today. For over 25 years, our dedicated and talented team has provided innovative learning solutions that allow our customers to deliver effective training and drive company growth. We would like to take a few moments to tell you about our learning management system and services. While we're pleased to show you all our LMS can do, let's be honest, LMS platforms often offer a similar checklist of features. What truly sets us apart at Knowledge Anywhere is that we emphasize partnership as well as platform, providing long-term support, responsiveness, a consultative approach, proactive innovation, and flexibility to all of our customers, from small nonprofits to large corporations such as Siemens, Ford, Precor, Meta, and Costco. Whether we're training a small organization on the fundamentals of an LMS or helping a large multinational corporation implement sophisticated and unique LMS customizations, our US-based team is there for you, and we are focused on supporting your success as an organization. We succeed when you succeed. In addition to our great technology, we provide consultation to help you establish the vision for your learning program, the training you need to get your LMS up and running quickly, and the ongoing support that you need to ensure continued success. We can also provide custom course development. We've designed our LMS to be intuitive for both learners and admins because we know your time is valuable, and great training should never feel complicated. Let's take a look, starting with the learner experience. Then we'll show you the administrator view. This is the sign-in page, where all learners will access the LMS. This page can be configured with email and password or single sign-on. The page also facilitates account creation if self-registration is enabled for your LMS. This takes the form of code-specific registration or fully open registration. The design of this page is customizable. You can change the logo, images, text, and available languages for your learners. On the home page, we see an intuitive, user-focused learner dashboard with important information easily available. Across the top, you see the action buttons, showing courses in progress, courses completed, badges earned, total badges, and credits. Learners would also see any classes they've enrolled in, classes that are past due, or coming up soon. It's a quick snapshot of their current status. At the top of the page, we've added a banner image, video, and some text welcoming learners to the LMS, which administrators can customize in their personalization settings. We also see a link to their most recent course, which allows them to quickly return to that course, and, on the right, any messages for the learner. Here are this learner's course assignments. Courses can be organized and assigned in many ways. This view shows courses grouped into categories, with each category containing several learning paths. Administrators can set up other dashboard layouts. If we switch to a different site, we can see an alternative view. This shows more of a learning path view, which highlights the completion status of their assigned learning paths. Learners can click on a learning path and see the courses that are included in the learning path, along with their progress and completion status on each course. Let's go back to the category view we saw earlier. If the learner clicks on a category, it expands and shows details on the learning path and courses in that category. We'll click on a learning path. We are taken to the Learning Paths page, and we see all of the content that has been assigned to this learner. Required courses appear at the top. Elective courses appear at the bottom of the list. This particular learner has a lot of content assigned or available to them, and the LMS provides some tools to help them manage and view this list. Using the filters on the left side, they can filter to see required courses, courses that are coming due, or short courses. Perhaps they have a few minutes free and want to complete a training item. Additionally, they can jump directly to a learning path or category. Let's look at this learner's OSHA training. Clicking on the first course in this series, we see the course detail page. This particular course is a self-study course, meaning that it consists of a series of resources, in this case PDFs, that the learner needs to read. Resources could also include PowerPoints or any type of document or link. If we click on a resource, it downloads and opens, in this case, in the learner's PDF viewer. Resources are marked complete as they are accessed. Once all the courses are completed, then the self-study course is considered complete, and completion is indicated in the course image. There's a lot more on the course page as well, and much of this can be configured by the administrator. Learner-friendly course names can be added, course previews are available, courses can be tagged, course descriptions filled in, clickable resource links and docs provided, a certificate of completion can be awarded, and a course survey can be set up. Surveys are a great way to obtain learner feedback. Learners can rate the course and add comments. The comment box only becomes available once the course has been completed, and comments must be approved by administrators before they become public. Let's look at an e-learning course. An e-learning course is any course that has a SCORM object. Most courses we see in our LMS are SCORM courses. SCORM courses can be created with our companion tool SCORMify, which converts videos and documents to e-learning SCORM objects, or created in another course authoring tool such as Articulate or Captivate. Clicking on the Launch button launches the course. If a course is available in multiple languages, the course will default to the learner's selected language, or they can choose which language to take the course in. Let's move on to classroom courses, which are scheduled training events, typically in person, instructor-led courses, or webinars. We see the date, time, and location of the offering of the course, as well as the number of seats available. Courses can have multiple offerings, allowing you to offer the same course at different dates or locations. Learners can enroll simply by clicking Enroll. If self-enrollment is not desired, classroom enrollment can be fully managed by an admin with roster permissions. Here we see resources that are associated with the course. This is a convenient way to provide agendas, handouts, or other documents. Resources can be added to any course type. The LMS supports other course types as well, including third-party courses from LinkedIn Learning and Open Sesame. We have deep integrations to both these systems. E-commerce is supported as well, allowing you to charge learners to take a course if desired. We also support optional features such as external completions and knowledge mark. If enabled, these features allow learners to capture completions outside of the LMS. As you complete courses, you're ultimately working towards a full completion of a learning path. Once you do that, certificate and survey become available at the learning path level. As we wrap up our look at the learner view, let's quickly review some other features. Our LMS provides a powerful search function. Here's a quick search for OSHA courses. As you can see, the search provided results on all of the OSHA learning paths and courses available to this learner. The search is driven by the course name, course tags, and details found within the course description. Our achievement page supports badges and benchmarking, which can be enabled if desired by administrators. Badges are a form of gamification, little rewards that learners can work toward. Badges can be awarded for a single course or bundling of courses and are a fun reward-earning enhancement for learners. Benchmark allows learners to see how they stack up against their fellow learners. Here we see this learner's course completion progress compared to other learners. The LMS supports multiple languages. We are currently localized to approximately 30 languages and can add additional languages at customer request. If you have administrative access, you can select the icon in the upper right and switch to Administrative View. Let's take a look. Here's the Administrator dashboard. A quick note as we get started. Our LMS supports multiple administration levels, allowing you to assign different administration rights to dedicated LMS administrators, instructional developers, managers, and others as necessary. This means that, for example, managers can be given admin rights to run reports on their team only. This demo is from the perspective of a global administrator with full access. Depending on their level, other administrators may not have access to some of the features we are showing. There's a lot to show here, so let's get started. Throughout the LMS, for both learners and administrators, we focus on presenting a clean, functional user interface with easy access to key features, and our administrator dashboard demonstrates exactly that. The sidebar on the left shows the different sections of the LMS. The main area shows action items, provides quick links to content, learners, and reports, includes links to some useful resources, and includes a What's New video. Let's jump right into content, which is where administrators can manage, create, and organize courses. We will start with Add Courses. Here are the course types we discussed a few minutes ago, as well as one additional course type, Assessments. Assessments can be generated manually, or you can upload content and the LMS will generate an assessment using AI. This is a great way to initially draft the assessment, which you can then edit as required. It's a big time saver. Let's edit an existing course. We will choose a classroom course. We see several tabs here, and we have landed on the Information tab. This is where you specify general information about the course, such as the name, description, as well as other key elements like renewals, due dates, and tags, which can help learners quickly search for a course. Switching over to the Configuration tab, we can enable comments and ratings, enable certificates, allow the learner to share the course on LinkedIn, add custom course fields, which allow you to track additional course metadata, and enable e-commerce, allowing you to charge for courses. Because this is a classroom course, there is a tab to enable offerings. Offerings allow the same course to be presented multiple times. You can set up the date, time, instructor, and so on for each offering of the class. This is very helpful for courses that are offered multiple times, as many classroom courses are. On the Resources tab, you can add documents, handouts, and so on that the learner can download. All of our course types have this similar structure, with some differences based on the type of course. For example, e-learning courses would have a tab for managing the SCORM uploads. Note that this course is available to learners in English, Spanish, and French. Returning to the course page, we see a list of all our courses. You may have noticed that there are a lot of them. If we scroll down, we can see the total count. To help you better deal with this list, there are filters on the right side, where you can look at, for example, courses assigned to a particular group, different course types, or active courses. We just saw the resources for an individual course. Using the menus at the top, we can go to the resource library. The resource library is a handy place to manage documents, links, and other course resources, which can be attached to courses for learners to download. Let's check some of our content add-ons. Here we have certificates. Certificates can be awarded to a learner once they've met certain criteria, such as completing a course or a learning path. Once they have done so, the certificate is available for download. The LMS allows you to design custom certificates. Surveys can also be created. Surveys can be attached to courses or learning paths, or could be site-wide. Maybe you want a survey to pop up every 10 times the learner logs into the site to get some feedback on their overall experience with the LMS. Surveys are a great way to keep in tune with your learners and can be designed within the LMS. On our tour of the learner site, we saw badges, which could be awarded for various accomplishments. Here's where badges are created and managed. Under Organized Content, we see learning paths, which allow you to group courses together to deliver that content in a nice structured way to learners. For instance, you could set up an onboarding learning path for new employees, or an industrial safety learning path for workers on the factory floor. Say you have mandatory OSHA training, but you require learners to take an instructor-led session before taking any of the e-learning OSHA courses. We can use prerequisites, as shown here, so that you can't take the e-learning courses, OSHA Small Business Safety Manual, or OSHA Resources, until you have successfully completed the OSHA training ILT, or instructor-led training. For many organizations, learning paths are sufficient for organizing their content, but some organizations require more flexibility, so we also provide categories, which are a way to link learning paths. So if you have multiple learning paths, let's say for onboarding, a category would allow you to provide an easy list view for the learner regarding their entire onboarding curriculum. Learning paths and categories can be configured in a multitude of different ways, leaving very few limitations on how you can set up your courses. Let's move on to the learner section. Here's where you manage your learners. Once you get launched, you're soon likely to have a lot of learners in the LMS, a lot of different cohorts, and a lot of different groups. You're going to want to use some of the filters on the right side to get to a learner or subset of learners. There are many options here. For example, you could filter by country or state, or by microsites, which are basically other extended enterprise subdomains of your LMS, such as a site you may set up for your customers or suppliers. Learners can be organized into groups. You can set up rules to automatically do this. Here's an example. We have set up a custom user profile field called Department, and we can set a rule that puts anyone in the accounting group if that field is set to accounting. Clicking on the Learners tab, we can see all the users in that group. We can add additional criteria to our filters. Accounting regulations vary from country to country and even state by state. So let's make this group more specialized for people in the accounting department in Washington State in the United States. Another way to assign content is via registration codes. Registration codes are issued to new learners who enter the registration code as they set up their LMS account. This is known as self-registration. Learners are then automatically placed into groups and assigned training content and even a microsite based on the code. Self-registration is one way to get learners into the LMS, but there are others as well. On this screen, you can add learners one at a time. That could be pretty time-consuming, but fortunately, you can also use our bulk import process using a CSV file. Once imported, learners optionally get a nice welcome email letting them know that they have been added to the LMS and prompting them to set up their password and get logged in and taking content right away. We can also provision learners via data fields or single sign-on. This is something we would discuss with you during the LMS setup process and determine the route that's best for you. Each learner has a detailed profile. You can also view learners' assignments, their group affiliations, and their transcript, where you can get a pretty granular view. You can see the learning path, the course, completion status, date, and more. You can also view their purchase history if your site has e-commerce enabled. There's a lot more to see in the learner view, but let's go ahead and move on to the reporting view. We first see our report requests page. This is a running feed of the reports you've run as an admin. If you're a global admin, you will also see your colleagues' reports as well as your own. But the lower tier admins would only see the reports they have run. The top menu also allows us to access the various default reports, divided into Learner, Course, and LMS reports. Under Learner, let's look at the Learning Details report. We'll run the report. What we're seeing here is a list of learners who have logged on to the LMS within a specified time, here during the month of May 2025. If I wanted to see more or less information, I can click on the column picker to add or remove columns from the report. If I wanted to further customize the report, I can click on the Advanced Report button, where I see additional options. I can also export the report to a CSV file. If this is a report I will run on a regular basis, I can schedule it. I could also set a report as a favorite. Now let's look at the course details report. Again, I'll run the report, and we can see how learners are doing on their assigned content. We have some handy KPIs across the top, showing total learners, courses in progress, and much more. As with all reports, we can use the column picker or the Advanced Report button to customize the report. There's a lot more in reports, but let's move on to communications. The automated messaging that keeps administrators and learners informed about what's going on in the LMS. This page shows administrator messages, showing reports you've run, courses you've uploaded, and so on. Email notifications are a powerful feature. What we see here is a list of emails that can be set, at the administrator's preference, to be automatically sent to learners based on certain criteria, such as required courses, time or location change for a classroom course, cancellation of a course, overdue courses, and so on. If we click into any of the templates, we see that we can edit the message. Note that the messages can be set up in various languages or microsites. Administrators can also send out custom emails and site messages to broadcast information to learners. Now let's take a quick look at the marketplace. Here you see some of our partners, such as LinkedIn Learning. We offer deep integrations to this partner content, allowing you, for example, to import LinkedIn Learning courses directly into the LMS. Site personalization allows global admins to personalize the site in various ways. You can set up the look and feel of the site to conform to your branding. You can set up custom fields for learners and courses so that you can track the information you need to track. And, using API keys, you can establish integrations with other systems. For example, you could set up single sign-on or establish a data feed that synchronizes learners with your HR system, so that as people join or leave the company or change roles, the LMS stays in sync. We're happy to help you set up these integrations. Let's look at custom fields. If you recall from earlier, we set up a custom learner field for department, which we use to place learners into the correct group. Here's where that field is set up. We've mentioned personalization, so let's see how you can brand your learning site, making it your own. When you choose personalization, you see all of the microsites that have been set up for your learning site. Each microsite can be branded differently. Let's look at the main page. Here is the login page. At the beginning of the video, we told you that the login page can be branded, and this is where that is accomplished. For example, I click on the image, I can swap it out. I can change the text as well. Note that multiple languages are supported. I can change the logo as well. Changes can be made to many different pages on your site, providing you with a lot of control, allowing you to ensure your site works for your learners and conforms to your branding. This concludes our tour through the admin side. There is a lot more functionality available, but we've touched on the key features that are most important to the majority of our customers. We are always working to enhance and improve our LMS, and we would like to wrap up by showing you some of the features in our innovation pipeline. These upcoming features are based on customer input. Our roadmap is shaped by our users, not just our engineers. We are enhancing our social capabilities by adding organizations and communities, which will allow learners to be organized around common interests or groups, and to participate in news feeds and messaging boards. We are also adding a course authoring tool within the LMS, powered by AI. Onboarding checklists are also in development. Training is an important part of onboarding, and these checklists will consolidate required training and other onboarding action items in one place. And a mobile app is on the way. Thanks for taking the time to view this video. For 27 years, Knowledge Anywhere has been developing innovative learning solutions. Whether you're replacing legacy systems or building a future-forward training and development ecosystem, we are ready to help you thrive.